So, you want to throw around some elves in Simic colors and want to make some upgrades, but literally cannot fathom spending more than like $5 on it? Well, here's the deal, kiddos. I'm about to show you 5 dope cards under $1 that you can toss into this precon as upgrades. As per usual, this video is brought to you by the EDH Jank Center, your source for everything Commander and everything Jank, and I am your host, Jordan. Now let's dive in. Now, before we move into our budget selections, let's take a look at today's Commander, Galadriel, Elven Queen. 2 green-blue legendary creature, Elf Noble. It has Will of the Council. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another elf entered the battlefield under your control this turn, starting with you, each player votes for Dominion or Guidance. If Dominion gets more votes, the ring tempts you, then you put a +1/+1 counter on your ring bearer. If Guidance gets more votes or the vote is tied, draw a card and it's a 4/5. So I won't go too into detail about ring bearing. That's a new mechanic that's come out with this Lord of the Rings set. You can read more about it here in this link that I've put in the description below. It is pretty cool though. But this is a really cool concept in general that involves politics, +1/+1 counters, and elf synergies. I'm going to be including some cards that I just feel generally synergize and are fun and interesting. That being said, let's move on to our first card of the day, which is Eligeth Crossroads Augur, 4 blue legendary creature Sphinx from Commander Legends. It has flying. If you would scry a number of cards, draw that many cards instead. It has partner, we don't care about that. And it's a 5/6. So first of all, I feel like elves and this guy would be really great friends, but second of all, there is actually a good bit of scrying synergy in this deck list. And Eligeth helps turn all of that scrying into straight up card draw, dude. And no one in history, and I feel like elves can vouch for this since they're immortal, has ever complained about drawing more cards. And also, bonus little synergy, you can choose Eligeth to be a ring bearer, and that would be actually a pretty good choice. Alright, moving on to Birchlore Rangers, 1 green mana creature elf from Onslaught. Tap 2 untapped elves you control. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it has more if we don't care about that, and it's a 1/1. Now, are there better cards? Yeah, but this is a 1-drop that can easily be played to trigger Galadriel's ability, and as a bonus, it then helps turn all of our elves into mana dorks that we can use to cast more elves. Pretty fun upside for a card that costs 1 mana. I love it. Alright, moving on to Drove of Elves, 3 and a green creature elf from Commander Anthology. It has hexproof, which means it can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control, and Drove of Elves' power and toughness are each equal to the number of green permanents you control. So if people end up voting for Dominion a lot, I think this is a fun target for being the ring bearer. Having hexproof means we don't have to worry about it dying to single target removal, so all we need to do is buff it up, give it some evasion, and we're off to the races. Also, it's another elf for Galadriel's ability. Alright, moving on to Illusion of Choice, 1 blue mana instant from Conspiracy Take the Crown. It says you choose how each player votes this turn, draw a card. Huh? Oh, what's that? It's our most expensive card of the day, and for a good reason. This simply lets us decide how voting should go. So if we want to have our ring bearer tempted, we can cast this and make sure it happens. Pretty sweet for 1 mana, and honestly, this card was under $1 at the time of making this video, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's over $1 now simply because of the blatant synergy it has with this deck. And just like that, guys, we're almost at the last card of the day, but before we get into it, let me plug my now public Discord. So for those of you that have been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I used to have a patron-only Discord where we'd have chats about cards, sets, spoilers, all that good stuff. However, I now have made that Discord public. That's right, if you join the link in the description, you can be part of this amazing little community that we've created of MTG nerds sharing their techs, talking about cards and sets and spoilers, and every month we are going to be doing a really awesome giveaway of really dope budget decks, deck boxes, sleeves, just all sorts of really cool stuff. The Patreon is still up. You can still be a member. That'll give you additional entries in some of our giveaways. However, it is not even necessary to participate in giveaways. I am just trying to create a really awesome community and give back to all of you who have chosen to support me. So if that sounds appealing to you, check it out. I'll see you in there. All right, moving on to our last card of the day. It is Slippery Bogbonder, 3 and a green creature human druid from Streets of New Capenna Commander. It has flash, hexproof. When it enters the battlefield, put a hexproof counter on target creature. Then move any number of counters from among creatures you control onto that creature, and it's a 3/3. Listen, I figured since we're throwing counters around here, we should probably include hexproof counters because they're Yeah, they're really good. And we have a good amount of cards in this build that require protection. Flashing this little guy out will help protect our valuable stuff in a pinch. And I mean, just look at that face. How could you not put it in a deck? Anyways, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you dug this content, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below what cards you would put in a Galadriel Elven Queen build. Did I miss anything? I'm always down there in the comments interacting with you guys, so come on down and have a chat with me about it. Oh, and join the Discord if you feel so inclined. Okay, bye. I'll see you next week.